In this video, I'm doing a review of the Kit Life Planner. There are a few different inside layouts to choose from, but I opted for the daily this time because the layout is quite different to most of the daily planners that I've seen. It's 1 page per day. This is an undated planner, so you can stop and start using it whenever you like. There's a few different cover options to choose from, but I really like this like fake marble effect on the cover. You can't personalize it with your choice of text. It just says planner, but it doesn't really bother me. It has a hardcover on the front and the back, and then the wire binding as well. The dimensions, it is 7.25 inches wide by 8.75 inches high. So to me, I'd call that a medium page size planner. And despite the hardcovers and the metal coil, it actually doesn't feel like it weighs that much. You could take this one with you on the go. The thickness, I'd say it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. I will measure it and have all those in the blog post, which will be linked down below, all the details. So inside we have some bright white paper, which is already a big tick for me. Love bright white paper. At the front is a thin little pocket folder, which has 2 sheets of planner stickers, functional icons, and because it's undated, they give you the month tabs, so you can add them yourself, or you can just handwrite them in or not use them at all. The pocket folder at the front here, though, is quite thin. You won't be able to fit anything else really apart from the 2 sheets of the stickers. I'm just going to leave them out for now because it'll take me too long to get them back in. So we have little guide on how to use the planner. I will have photos if you want to read all of that. Again, it'll be in the blog post. At the front of the planner are all of the months. They're all clustered together. Starts on a Sunday. The font is very like a simple block font. The colors are quite minimalist. You do get a little bit of color, but it's not like too much. The colors aren't very bright. So you can probably use other colors and you won't have to worry about them clashing. Like purple would look all right with this. I probably am leaning more nowadays towards just black and white neutral inside layout, so I can use any color that I want, because if I start doing like red and things, it might not look the best. So it's like minimalist but still with a little bit of color. There's no need to worry about split boxes because there's no dates, so you can add those yourself. I was a little disappointed that it didn't come with some date dot stickers. I thought that would be more important than the icon stickers, and then it would be nice and coordinated with, you know, the little numbers and the colors that are already used in the planner. But you could always just make your own with the silhouette. So you have a nice big lined sidebar. I'd say that it's about 1.5 inches wide, but I will again measure that for you. It just says month at the front here, so you can kind of use that as your guide because there's no tabs and there's no ribbon bookmark either, so they've just marked it on the side of the page for you. So you've got 12 months all clustered together at the front, and then we go into the monthly check-in pages. So I really like these, something quite different. It's got a very compact habit tracker, which I've never really seen one do the whole 31 days on a portrait page orientation. So on screen, it didn't look too bad. In person, I'm actually quite surprised. The boxes are big enough that you could still scribble or do a little cross mark. And the habit section, this is, I'll be honest, it's quite narrow, probably again only about 1.5, and that I reckon is only about 4 mil high, which is a lot thinner. Most planners have about 7 mil line spacing. But given that they've been able to cram that on the page along with all of these other elements for monthly goal planning, I think they did a pretty good job without like wasting too much paper, and you still get a habit tracker. They have categorized different areas of your life you can put different goals against, or you could always just cover them up with a sticker and choose your own goals. I like all the lined writing space. I think the proportions of the page and what they managed to fit on it, I think that's quite good. I really like the monthly check-in. So they're all clustered together following the months, and then we go into the daily layout, and as you can see, because of the wire binding and the hardcover, it just lays flat no matter where you are in the planner. So the daily layout, as you can see, it's a little different. So it does still have the schedule section that most planners include. This one starts at 6 a.m. and goes through until 8 p.m. But instead of it having the whole, like, they'll normally do one column with all of the times on it, and I find that to be a bit of dead space because I don't really need that much room to plan out everything in minute detail at a particular time. I'd rather just have like a rough outline of things, but I need more checklist space. So this one has really big checklist over here on the left, and then note section, which I would just turn into more checklist. It's got a top 3 already picked out for you, which I always do, and then down the bottom here it links back to those like monthly check-in with activity and, you know, your goals and all those kind of things. I wouldn't really use the gratitude section. I'll probably just get a sticker and cover that up and change it to something else. And you've also got a little meal plan section. There's different quotes at the bottom of each day's page, and each day gets a full page. So it doesn't matter if it's a weekday or a weekend, you get the same full 1 page per day layout. There's nothing compressed. Sometimes they'll try and squeeze Saturday and Sunday onto the same page, which really doesn't work for me because it's when I actually have more time to do things because I'm not at work on the weekend. So just something to keep in mind. Really, anyone could use this planner because it's not dated. There's no specific sort of categories. Like, these things are quite generic, so I think this would be really good for a student if you wanted to plan everything out in detail. Maybe if you work for yourself. I think lots of people could use this planner. At the back here, we'll just go to the extras section. So we have just a little tab here to signify where it starts, some line writing space, and thankfully the lines are a lot better proportioned on the rest of the pages. It's only really narrow on that little habit tracker that I showed on the monthly overview. I would say this is the usual about 7 mil high, but I will measure that and have that in the blog post linked down below. So we've got one line notes page, then we've got a 2020 planning dashboard. Now, even though it's undated, they do still have this dated page in here. Which, to be honest, I would probably just print out a fresh one for whatever year that you're using, and then for whatever year that you're using, and then I would just paste that over the top of this one because 2020 is finished. Then we have the Noteworthy Dates section. Same colors are used throughout, these 4 colors. Not really much to say about this. It's just some basic line writing space. Maybe a 2-page spread would be a bit better, a bit more room to write. Not sure what happened with their formatting there because it's like really pushed up high rather than being in the center of the box. Minor con. Then we have 2021, same thing again, and 2022. Then some lined notes paper again. And then at the back here, there's no pocket folder. I haven't done a pen test. I'm undecided if I'm keeping this planner. I like it, but I'm just not sure that I would get enough use out of it because I don't tend to use daily planning layouts. I'm not seeing any show through though. So if I go to something that's a bit more ink heavy, okay, there's a little bit up here and then a little bit on the tabs. So there probably will be some ghosting when you want to write on this. So I'd probably stick to ballpoint pens. Overall, I think it's quite a nice planner. The price, I will have all those details linked in the blog post down below. It's pretty much on par with all the others like Plum Paper, Erin Condren, all those kind of planners for the price point. And for it being undated, I think that's better value because then you can just stop and start using it whenever you want. Quite minimalist layout. So if you want something that's simple, but you still want a little bit of color on the planner, then this would maybe be a good option. And again, I think student or if you work for yourself, then it would be a really good planner for that. So have all those details, size and everything in the blog post, which will be linked down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I usually post a couple of review videos each week. See you in the next one.